Lovely. Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, Africa, and warm welcome to the analysis program right here on KBN TV from Zambia's capital city, Lusaka, with me, Innocent Piri. Of course, it is a beautiful Sunday to many of you that have been in church today. If you were at the mosque on Friday, welcome to KBN TV. If you are, of course, a Sabbath, go on a Sabbath or Saturday, as it were, welcome as we begin to analyze these beautiful and, of course, hot stories in the studio. I am, of course, your host, as I didn't mention, Innocent Piri, and Comrade Mike Sichula. He joins me on set, among other colleagues of mine that will be able to join us along the way. Comrade Mike Sichula, the speech analyst, welcome and happy Sunday to you. Good evening.
Thank you very much, IP. Good evening to you, and also good evening to our dear viewers who are joining us wherever they are. It's a lovely Sunday yet again. By the grace of God, we are here. We were here last week on the first Sunday of April.
Correct.
And today we are back, the second week of April. It is a lovely day.
It's a lovely day indeed, as we look at quite a number of stories, hot stories. Wow, we see men really, coming on the set on a Sunday with, beautiful suits and neckties today. I don't know what's going on, but for let me say this comment to you that I opted to go for this is simple, attire.
Yes.
For me. I don't know why I didn't put on a tie today.
Yeah, I think
the crossface for me always does it.
Last week, I think I should have been the only one who was in the tie.
Yes, I remember.
So I think
I remember.
Today I've been caught unaware by ambassador and CEO. So maybe we'll find that next week when I'll be in a tie, my other colleagues will not be in a tie.
If I know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, thank you so much. And in case you've joined us, remember we are found on DSTV channel 279, GoTV channel 27, and also top the decoder channel 102. But of course, as usual, our conversation is also live on our Facebook page, which is KBN TV. That's our online handle, and also YouTube, as Twitter, as it were. Please follow us, drop in those questions and also clarifications to the conversation we're having in the studio. We've got a lot of stories that are up for discussion this evening, but of course allow me to unveil the other team that are just jumped into the studio in Ambassador Anton Mukwita. He joins us, an international relations expert, but also he is a media expert as well. Ambassador, welcome, and good evening to you. Looking so nice.
IP. Me, when I grow up, I want to look the way you do, You look so suave, easy, taking it easy. Thank you very much for welcoming us on this great Sunday evening that the good Lord has given to us.
Thank you so much. Of course, Ambassador is sitting next to the man himself in PK, or Pastor Kenneth Mambwe. He joins us in the studio as usual. Making our conversation very easy. It becomes very easy for me to just read through these topics, because my job really just to read through, and we leave it to PK, we leave it to Ambassador, we leave it to Comrade Mike Sichula for analyzing or analysis. PK, welcome and happy Sunday to you. Good evening.
Good evening, IP, and happy Sunday to you as well, and good evening to our esteemed viewers, wherever you may be catching us from.
Beautiful. Let's get into the stories we have in the studio. We did see last week President Akandesham, of course, making quite a number of appointments. We talk about at the Judiciary, we're talking about the High Court, and also he went further to appoint people at the Electoral Commission of Zambia, as it were, ahead of course, the elections. Now, what is quite interesting is that the move by President Akandesham to have appointed quite a number of judges at the High Court level brings a lot of conversation, a lot of critics, a lot of also, analysis. Different minds, experts have also dived into this issue, weighed in to give their own opinion regarding this matter. But remember, these are just basically views, different views, because we live in a democratic nation. So others may support, others may not support these appointments. But what is important is to critically look at who is being appointed. Are these appointments in line or in sync with the Zambian constitution, which calls for a balanced, regional balance, and also matters to do with, persons with disabilities. So we always go to the constitution to look at the actions being made by the president, and later on begin to analyze these issues. Mike Sichula, your quick bite over this matter.
Well, it is interesting to see that as Parliament will be dissolving next month, there are a lot of appointments that have been made. So one will be thinking and wondering why are you doing them at the last minute? And we have seen during this period of time, when you go to Parliament, Parliament is now, you can clearly see a certain section of Parliament has moved or taken themselves to the governing party.
Correct.
And now when you begin to appoint these people, it is certainly clear that these persons will be ratified and no one will not be ratified. Because there's already a divide that has been created in Parliament to say whatever the president has brought to Parliament, it must be that stamp to become law. So these appointments to me are somewhat not strange, because we have seen this happen in previous administrations, from the Frederick Chiruba administration, Lupia Banda, Manawasa, and Michael Sata, as well as late President, all of them are late, Edgar Lungu.
Correct.
All these, each president want to appoint certain people to be where they are. So in a nutshell, the appointments are not something that I can say they are illegal.
Right.
They are within, the president is within the confines of the law to make those appointments. One thing that just becomes a problem is that when certain of these people are appointed, they forget one important thing, to uphold the constitution for each and every Zambian, and not to be partisan, like we have seen in the past. I'll just cite one example, not to divert from the topic. We have seen something that has been trending for the last 4 years, the issue of the PF and the court processes. How certain judges, certain magistrates have acted in a manner that has raised a lot of public concern amongst members of the public. So my point is that when you are appointed, whether you are aligned to the governing party or you are not, the moment you are appointed to look after the affairs of this country, such persons should throw away their partisan interest and begin to act professionally in line with the constitution. Because all those appointments that President Hakainde Hichilema has made, first of all, those are Zambians. If they have got qualifications, then the president has got right to appoint them. And if they can deliver to his expectations, then the president has got the right to appoint them. But the problem comes in their course of duty in terms of execution. Execution of duty, that's where it becomes a problem. If you recall, there was a video that, a viral video that went, that was widely circulated on online platforms, of the senior person at the road transport sector, Ratsa. In that video, there are a lot of things that were said that were not in good taste to the standards of how Zambia has to be governed. Why? Because the person who was appointed forgot that once he was appointed, he needed to throw away his partisan interest and begin to save Zambians. So to all these judges that have been appointed, to me, my call and appeal is that whether you are a friend to President Hakainde Hichilema, whether you are the wife to the special assistant to legal to President Hakainde Hichilema, and you think maybe because of your alignment to certain individuals within government, maybe warranted you to be appointed, the moment you are appointed, that should be thrown away. You take on the armor of professionalism to work for the Zambian people. Because it is not President Hakainde Hichilema who is going to pay you. It is not your connection. Maybe somebody lied to you to say, I'm going to throw in your name on those people that the president will be appointing. No, 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 no. It is not those people that will pay you. The people that will pay you and bring food and fuel to yourselves as an appointed judge, magistrate, whatsoever, it is the Zambian people.
Right. Let me get back to you. I just want to try by all means to be strict with time. 2 minutes, 2 minutes
No
each.
problem.
I'm seeing the list is quite long this evening, more than ever before. But let's try to utilize the little time we have. Let me bring in Ambassador, your submission. When you looked at the people who were appointed by the president last week, what is there to analyze? What should Zambians, look forward to from where you stand?
Thank you very much for the passing of the microphone by IP, our host. I have taken a totally different... please forgive me for... I think we're in Jamba somewhere.
I think so.
You wash out. Anyhow, I've already stolen 1 minute of the time that you gave me.
Correct.
I recall a situation in the United States of America in 2020. I want to draw a parallel.
Right.
So President Donald Trump has a vacancy. In fact, I think he had 3 to fill in. But he would be going into the elections the next year in 2021, and he decides to replace a very respected judge called Greta Ben Ginsburg with Judge Amy. And there were huge questions that arose. The reason I give this is because the United States is what we have used for a long time as the yardstick for democracy. And Judge Greta Ben Jones, I've forgotten her name again, she keeps coming in, great old woman. Her wish was that she should not be replaced until President Trump left office, but her wish died with her. The reason I give this is I'm looking at the fact that we're remaining with 4 months only before we can go to the August 13 polls. So my mind races and I'm asking myself, why is President Hakainde Hichilema in a hurry to decide to replace? How many judges are there, Wapike? 20?
More than 20.
More than 20. Yes. So I have decided, because of also my international relations background and finance background, to look at how much this may cost. So the average salary of a judge, the lowest is 30,000 kwacha per month, and the highest is about 35,000 kwacha. The Chief Justice gets annually about 540,000 kwacha. So you can divide that by 12. But all this is minus what they get in terms of fuel allowance, housing allowance, and an allowance for the fact that for you to be a judge, you are not practicing. So they get paid for not practicing. Even dull ones who would never even had a client when they were working, they get paid.
Serious, huh?
Yeah, they get paid. It's part of the conditions. It's called a non-practice allowance.
Wow.
So, when I look at all this, I am thinking, why is the government of Zambia deciding to increase the expenditure to get more money for them, the taxpayers, 4 months before we go to elections, when they have just decided to go to Parliament and seek permission to spend more because now we're going to import fuel at a higher price and other things are coming in? I look at one judge at 35,000 kwacha per month, it comes to about 400,000. I look at just 20, that's about 8.4 million kwacha per year for just 20. And then call me a cynic. I know you said 2 months. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
There is a young man, 18 years old, who died last week. May his soul rest in peace. 18 years old. His name is Emmanuel Waria. He died in a pit latrine at the University of Zambia, the oldest and most prestigious university in Zambia. And the reason he died is because there was no money to fix those sewer pipes. over a period of maybe 10, 15, 20 years. Nobody is exonerated on this, not even the previous Patriotic Front government and not this government. And yet, we prioritize to blow more than 8 million per month, 4 months before the elections. And we are only talking about judges.
Yeah.
We haven't been spoken about other issues that you're going to bring. So I just wanted to look at this aspect and ask, why are we choosing to spend more taxpayers' money 4 months before elections? I leave that to the viewers. I leave that to the protagonists and the antagonists to look at. Why are we spending money that we do not have? Why are we spending money on 20, 40 judges when a young man died at 18 years old? He will never go back to see his mother. His mother will never see his smile. That dream that she had for him, that desire she wanted to have to see the son graduating at UNZA in those green colors is gone. But we have been able to find money. Because remember, there's going to be some VXs. There's going to be some housing allowances. There's going to be some fuel allowances. We are already struggling with so many things. Farmers were not paid on time. Where have we found the money to employ these new judges and new electoral officials?
Right.
Follow the money.
All right. PK, I'll throw it to you. What is your take? What is your submission over this matter? The appointments of quite a number of judges on the list.
Thank you, IP. I'll be very quick. My colleagues have already spoken to major points. But first of all, let's be clear. I don't have a problem if they are qualified.
Yeah.
If they are qualified and they deserve to be appointed as judges, whether at the High Court level or at Court of Appeal or Constitutional Court, I do not have a problem. I have a problem if we are going to have the courtrooms packed with cadres. I would have a problem with that. But I understand that this recruitment was open and transparent. There was interviews, there was an advert that went out, there were interviews and so on and so forth. So if they have been employed on merit, I don't have a problem. Where I have a problem is with the timing. I have a problem with the timing. Viewers will recall, IP and my colleagues here, you will recall, that Bill 7 was debated, second stage, second reading, third reading, and voted one day. And that same day was the last day of the sitting of Parliament, which means the MPs were rushed. They never gave it critical thought in terms of, can we interrogate each one of these. So Bill 7 passed because of timing is critical. You can't subject the bill on the last day of the House closing and hoping that it will go any other way. I see a repeat of this. The timing is very deliberate. Tomorrow is the 13th of April. On the 13th of May, Parliament will be dissolving.
Exactly 1 month.
Exactly 1 month. Now tell me, in 1 month, you want to subject the MPs to ratification process. When are they going to study each one of these nominated or appointed judges, if you like? What time do they have? They'll be rushing. Oh, we need to dissolve. Let's quickly ratify.
That's mounting more pressure now. On the
It's mounting. It's a psychological issue that the schemers of all of this have done, so that the MPs will be under duress to ratify and get along with whatever they want. Remember this, IP, and remember this, dear viewers, that you have seen that independent members of Parliament, as well as those from the Patriotic Front, some of them have already crossed the floor. Even those who may not have crossed the floor but are in negotiations of adoption, we want to demonstrate support of the government through the voting or ratification process. If I stay away, I abstain, I don't ratify, I may not be adopted. You understand? So there is a psychological game at play here. Lastly, to the timing, you can't have more than 20, 30, others are saying 40 judges appointed in one stroke. And they have to be ratified within this limited period of time. When you have 4 months to an election, remember 14 days is 14 days.
Yeah.
Because as you are going to an election, it is expected that maybe there will be a rerun. Maybe there will be some petitions. All those petitions and whatever will be adjudicated upon by a new crop of judges. Tell me what's at the back of their mind. I've just been promoted.
Right.
I've just been given a job.
Yes, maybe I should look away from what the law says and let me look at what my pocket is saying now that I have been given a chance. All of these things, we cannot wash them out. I mean, wish them away. We cannot ignore them. They are factors. They speak to the timing, how critical the timing is. But as I said in my conclusion now, is that if they qualify, I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the timing.
All right, we'll leave it there to you, the viewers, to be able to add on 1 or 2 things from what is being talked about this evening, and the lineup is right on our caption. You can go through and also begin to submit your thoughts around this matter. Let's go to story number 2. Now we'll look at a UPND cadre appointed as commissioner at ECZ. Among the appointments, among the people who have been appointed, we're talking about the people at the High Court, people at the Court of Appeal, and also individuals having been also graduated to go and handle the affairs of the Constitutional Court. There is one particular appointment which has brought a lot of debates in the public domain, and that is Zianji Sinkala. This is a person who has been appointed to go and sit at the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Of course, shortly coming up, in a few days or few months before the general elections, and the general public is having a say over this matter. Comrade Mike Sinkala, a young man looking very vibrant and energetic, he's been appointed to go and preside over the affairs of ECZ. And let me just have this clip, a picture of him. That's Sinkala there on the screens. As you can see, he's looking very energetic and very able in terms of
and salt sun.
And of course,
Not sugar.
salt sun. Yeah. Now, when you look at this
What is
young
it dressed in?
so that's a UPND Ligaria. We are talking about a person who is said to have been aspiring or to be aspiring in Luanja on the Copper Belt province. Now he seems to have been taken away from the political space. He's now our commissioner. Comrade Mike Sichola.
Before I start, I'll begin like the way Ambassador calls me at Mbala Mafia.
Mbala Mafia. And you've asked him a tough question. You're asking him to talk about his own brother, Baba. Yeah.
Anyway, this is national issues, and they one thing that.
And let's put a disclaimer.
No.
I know the position you are in. That's your brother. And I love the fact that you've said we are discussing national issues.
Indeed.
So one person can be sacrificed.
Blood aside.
Sinkala is also a very good friend of mine.
Amazing.
I was telling PK last week, I said he's a friend of mine. And we know each other very well. But like they say, the 20 million Zambians could be more important than one person.
Our family
That's
relations
how it goes.
and friendships.
Let's begin from there.
So, what the UPND is doing, they are using national state institutions to solve political problems. Yeah. Mr. Sinkala is one of those candidates that was aspiring in Luanja constituency. Then when you go on the ground in Luanja constituency, as well as the current crop of parliamentarians, some of them from many constituencies, including Luansha, were voted for Bill 7. And there's this promise to say, there was a promise to say, but okay, then there was a promise to say you'll be appointed. Before Elvis can say, even if you have joined, it's not a guarantee that you'll be adopted.
Yes.
So now the UPND, they are using, how do we solve problems that we have politically so that we make these people still be with us? So what do we do? I think Mr. Sinkara, we can take him, we can kill his political ambitions of being a Luansha member of parliament. Let's take him to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, which is going to oversee national elections. As you also may be aware, on the 15th of this month, the Electoral Commission of Zambia is beginning to receive presidential nominations. So Mr. Sinkala is going to sit there to look at the
Although that has been postponed, am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but what the ECZ will be doing maybe just to have stakeholders meetings and stuff like
On
that.
the 17th.
On the
Oh, it's
17th,
been
yes.
moved to the 17th.
Yes.
The stakeholder
The accepting
meeting.
of the...
No, the stakeholder meeting is
On the
on the
17th.
17th.
Yeah.
Then they will determine out
When.
of that meeting when to start receiving.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for...
Either way, he's going to have to sit there.
Either
and-
way, is going
and
to
preside.
be... Now, look, you are going to receive presidential nominations of your boss at ECZ as well as a political party. So definitely, you know, there's just that human way of looking at things. Even if Mr. Longwe is telling us that Mr. Hichilema has served 2 terms as the party president, I don't think when you have people like Mr. Sinkala, when you have people like McDonald Chipenzi, when you have people like Mwangala Zalomes, they are going to entertain such issues. Because these, they hold their patronage to the appointing authority instead of becoming to act in a professional manner to say, I have been appointed, let me throw this out and now act professionally. So the danger that this is creating, it is creating a narrative that is being taken by the public to say political cadres of the UPND are the ones who are governing national elections. Do we expect the Electoral Commission of Zambia to be independent in that state? People are going to have their own doubts. Because where we are coming from, like I did state last week, I did challenge members of the members who are following us, if they can trace any picture of former ECZ commissioners in PF Regalia, you are not going to find any. If any maybe that you can find, maybe that may have been generated by AI. But the original ones, you are not going to find them. Again, I'll conclude by, like what PK said, if he qualifies, there's no harm for him to take up that, because first, again, he's a Zambian, he can take up that position. But the problem that the UPND and especially President Hakainde Hichilema is creating is that is reducing public confidence in the Electoral Commission of Zambia by these appointments. Because when you go to any part of the country, for instance, people know to say Mr. McDonald Chipenzi was supporting the UPND. So whenever there's a dispute in the electoral process, even if Mr. McDonald Chipenzi or Mwangala Zalomes is going to come to explain what a dispute that has arisen to explain, people already say, no, tikuzivani mondimo wa UPND.
Chipenzi has refused that he has never supported the UPND. Do you agree to that?
I think the viewers, I throw it to the viewers because we saw Mr. Chipenzi canvass for votes in Chilundu, where he did not perform very well. The people in Chilundu did not know him. So in the primaries, he lost. So that's the danger that President Hakainde is creating, is reducing public confidence in state institutions through these appointments of non-political cadres to sit on institutions that are going to govern on a sensitive issue like the general elections.
Ambassador, your 2 minutes starts now.
I will
Sinkala.
actually reduce it
Please.
for the sake of expedience, because
Right.
Yas Chura has spoken very well, as usual, again, over his Baba friend. Again, it's timing to borrow also from Pastor Kennedy Mambwe. Why now, 4 months before this, crucial poll is coming on, should you be increasing the taxpayers' press expenditure? I don't understand why we should be having Mr. Sinkala coming on board, getting a brand new VX. I have nothing against luxury. I love it a lot myself. And, but there is lots of other priorities. Like I have already adequately spoken regarding the recruitment of the judges. Yeah. Is it necessary, Mr. President, is it necessary, the recruiting officers, to get this energetic young man into a job 4 months before the elections? People will ask, does he have a special assignment? What is he beefing up? Does he bring to the table? In my view, this appointment could have waited for after August 13. It is the same view that I hold about the judges that have just ballooned the amount of money we're going to be paid at a time that we have gone to the National Assembly, to Parliament at least twice to ask to spend more. So we are living beyond our means, and it's also at a time that we have failed to pay farmers on time. So for me, I keep bringing it back again, apart from the partisan issues, I keep bringing it back to the fact that we should be prudent in our expenditure. I don't think I don't think it was necessary to recruit so many judges right away, and I don't think it was necessary to bring in the commissioner. I know that justice delayed is justice denied, and I also know that an election doesn't just have to be free, but it has to be seen to be free and fair. But the timing, in my words, to follow where the pastor was talking about, is wrong, because when you do things in haste, it appears you raise the ant for people to speculate. The members say, "Infula pakuya, epo yone fisabo." Like when the rain is going, that's when like it distracts staff the most. So are we witnessing a distraction right in our very front eyes or not? I don't know. As Trump would say, I don't know. Maybe we are. Maybe we are not. Yeah.
IP, if history will be written one day,
and it will be.
And it will be. The one thing that you will never take away from me as a person is my ability to express my thoughts without stammering.
Amen.
Without apologizing.
Without being apologetic. I am really concerned with the governance style that the UPND has exhibited. First of all, how they departed from their promises. I am using that as an example to justify what I want to say.
Right.
How they departed from their promises of everything they promised, from milling meal to fuel, to
fertilizer,
to removing middlemen, to fertilizer, to all of these things. And when Zambian people bought into their theory and gave them the opportunity, and they came and changed and said, you don't expect us to do miracles. We inherited the broken and run down system. Economy.
Yes.
They totally avoided to commit themselves to what they had promises. They had promised the Zambian people.
They want us to be guilty.
They want the Zambian people to be guilty, and don't hold them accountable because it's not their fault. It's the fault of the previous administration, and they have peddled that narrative for far too long. It's a tired narrative. So I have a problem with their style of governance, of refusing to take serious the voices of the Zambian people. You will recall, I won't depart from this. You will recall how Zambian people, from the church to LAS to ordinary citizens, civil society organizations, rejected Bill 7. But for as long as the UPND wants something done, it doesn't matter who speaks. They will have it done.
Wow.
I have a problem with that. Currently, you have seen how Zambians have raised concerns about the secretive sneaking in of the US Zambia health bill or memorandum of understanding, if you like. Yeah. And people have said, can we see what is contained in that MOU? Because the law is very clear, and I want to emphasize on the law. Yeah. The law is very clear. No government is allowed to commit the Zambian people to any foreign deal without the approval of Parliament. Parliament is about to dissolve in 30 days. In 30 days, yes. That deal between America and Zambia, as far as health is concerned, has never been presented before Parliament. It has now taken 2 civil society organizations to sue the government. Correct. It tells you the UPND doesn't respect even the constitution that they have sworn, to protect. If you want to go and sign up a deal, yet the constitution has given you how to do it, and you have ignored that, that is a problem in itself. Okay? You know that the constitution is very clear, Ambassador. Indeed. That an MP cannot cross the floor and continue serving as an MP. That seat must be declared vacant. Yes. It is not surprising, and I know we will discuss this later.
Yeah, I don't want you to over-preempt because we're heading there.
Okay, fine. Yes. I am trying to justify
the pattern.
Right. The pattern. Yeah. Why it is not shocking that you have a cadre in the name of Sinkala appointed as commissioner. When you look at those images of him in a grey suit and in a blue suit, there, different locations with different people surrounding him, doing a Sotsana signal. That is very recent. Look at the regalia around him. It's all in red. You cannot even pretend that he's not. Yes, tell me that is qualified. But is he the only qualified? You already have Mwangala Zaromes, who is a cadre. Yeah. You already have McDonald Spence, who is a cadre. Then you also bring this guy who is a cadre. I have a problem with that. Now, the problem I have is because the UPND has a pattern of disrespecting the voices of the Zambian people and disrespecting the constitution as far as they want to do things. I can go on and on. We were told when we sounded alarm that the UPND wants to bring back Vedanta, which they refused, that they would never. Yeah. There was a press conference that was called. The media is lying. Again, peddling lies. That we want to give Vedanta back to, KCM back to Vedanta. What did they do?
They did just that.
They did just that. So the UPND, it's very difficult to trust them in the manner that they do things, in the manner that they disrespect the voices of the Zambian people who voted for them, in the manner they disrespect the constitution. When a speaker knows that if you cross the floor, the rules are clear. Just declare them vacant. Now I'm not shocked that a deputy speaker also has crossed the floor. Because why? It is a blueprint. They have to follow it, and no one will hold them accountable as far as they are concerned.
You mean a blueprint of lawlessness?
I think so.
Do you remember, I'm sorry for taking the thunder away from both of you distinguished gentlemen. I used to say several times, I looked in the camera and said, you should fire that guy. What's his name again? Moyo. I said, fire that guy. I knew there was something wrong with you, dude. I saw it,
but
from my crystal ball.
You've been vindicated.
I've been vindicated.
Let's come back to it. So but quickly, just to, from what Piki has read, I just want to read something, a short write-up coming from one activist in Rola Mutti. I hope directly you can have that write-up on the screen. Quite interesting, but it's quite pregnant, as it were. Now, she says, Aurora Mutti writes, she's on our Facebook page. You can just go to her page, you'll find this right up there. She says, there is this quite but brutal arrogance about how the UPND does its politics. To appoint an unapologetically partisan individual to the Electoral Commission of Zambia months before the general election is one of those moves I described as, so what can you do about it? That's all. the question. Mr. Sinkala joins Mr. Chipenzi on ECZ as a person who tried to contest elections on the ruling party ticket. The two must now decide the impartiality, solidarity, and the credibility of elections against their former political rivals. Yeah, that's Aurora Mutti there.
Yeah, so
She's saying something.
So she's very right. And as I learned, IP, on this particular issue, is to say, are you surprised that for the first time in the history of Zambia, you have a secret recruitment of police officers? When that has never happened. Yeah. These things are subject to
public scrutiny.
Public scrutiny.
And they're supposed to be publicly advertised.
Publicly advertised. Every Zambian must participate.
Yes.
But not for the UPND. They are a special case. I don't think the UPND has any respect for the law or the norms of a nation to recruit over 3,000 police officers secretly. It is also on our discussion. But I have said all of these things so that no one should accuse me of accusing the UPND of who they are not and what they have not been doing. Right. I can justify everything and much more of how they've totally disregarded the voices of the Zambian people and how they've disregarded the law and how things should be done.
Right. Let's move on, gentlemen, to another story. Headline, we look at UPND member Chileshe, that's Cosmas Chileshe there, advocates for the abolishment of presidential term limits. The UPND, of course, keeps on making headlines in a different manner. Others will say in a negative manner, some way it's it's a situation whereby you are making news, but in a very bad way. Always, that's what is happening here. Now, Cosmas Chileshe says he would want, or he would propose to have a presidential term limit to be scrapped off. Now we're talking about a two presidential term limit for each sitting president, to be scrapped off and leave it open. That's what he's suggesting as Mr. Cosmas Chileshe there. Mike Sichula, maybe before that, let's just have this clip so that we justify what we're talking about. Unless himself, he comes out and says, no, it's not me. This particular point when I was speaking, I was AI.
Nesubale Pusha for 7 years in Zimbabwe. If what we would want to do, or for twinga temwa, or a temwa inofuninga temwa chava, kuchiro kula fumia po 5 years cycle, kufumia po fiama term limit. If you had 2 term, being elected to a constitutional mandate of 5 years for 2 terms, fumia po term, cycle of 5 years, kutia shala. Iyo term, emaka mfile mwapela, avekala chalo, ukusala. Whether balefwa yomuntu nangola yo dan kubika po chumuita titem icho chikafuirisha tatwa techuchinje na cycle from 5 to 7 ngafintu ba Zimbabwe balechita 5 year cycle kuti yashala kufumia po fe chidamuita titem limit so that nangola cha Africa mu 2031 yo term limit tapali abantu bakakwata insambo yakoba ba president Chilematawe tatule mifuaya a democracy tulanda punga tulanda democracy you give amaka kubantu not ukubika po ifunde lya kukanya umuntu ukwete abilities leadership quality.
Chemoneka bakateka bayikire matuli nabo na mu 2031
ocho twenga faila uko wachitwa abafumya hapo chinshinga chakutira bale bomba fye bwino
nangu nayi kwa nemyaka yabwe 10
ocho twenga faila uko bafumisha hapo chinshi when fin to filenda fye bwino kuleta po muntu wakusafulunganya development ekyo banesu baleetwebera pokati tukitamuchita develop tewonse fyo okutira afyalo afyatiyo pakano fina nenkateekeko awe teve kyabayo.
Thank you so much, Director, for that. Mike Sichula, 2 minutes starts now.
It's the sad state of affairs that we are going to have young individuals like Mr. Cosmas Chileshe coming up with such ideas. I want to remind the UPND, even if Mr. Cosmas Chileshe has written another statement saying that he did not imply, or more or less saying what he said was a personal suggestion. But however, even if it's a personal suggestion,
he's a public figure.
He's a public
and he
figure.
said it on a public forum.
And yes, and he belongs to the UPND. So whatever he said there would definitely be attached to say this must be something that the UPND officials within their corridors they're talking about. Yeah. But I want to remind the Zambian people and Mr. Chileshe himself to say the Zambian people in 1991 dealt away with the first republic of Dr. Kaunda because President Kaunda had ruled Zambia for 27 years. They said it was too much. We needed to have a change. And this is why we came to the democratic society, where now, instead of someone ruling as long as they wished, we now had the 5 years. So to go back to what we discarded, I think Mr. Chileshe should be, there must be something wrong with him and even the UPND. They are taking Zambians for granted. Because look, there is, if you cannot complete your mandate, or if you cannot complete whatever you promised people within 5 years, you have one free window, which is your second term. If you cannot complete, what you need to do is work very hard as a presidential candidate to ensure that your political party is not booted out, so that we maintain the 2-term limit for a presidential candidate. Unlike removing the 2-term so that someone can rule for as long as 5 terms or 6 terms, that is out of what we came out in 1991. Then this statement, I will not take it as a personal statement, and I'll not take it lightly, because we, in our first topic, we spoke about appointment of judges. What is the UPND doing? They are trying to consolidate power in the judiciary. They have appointed judges who, in case of anything, when there are court issues, the UPND they will be very safe to say, okay, if the case goes to court, the people that are there were appointed by this president. They're appointed by the UPND administration. That is something that is very key. Then our second topic, we're talking about UPND non-cadres being appointed at the ECZ. What is the UPND doing? They are trying to consolidate power again in the electoral system. So whatever can happen there, the UPND will comfortably be at home and call someone at ECZ to say what is happening there. I think what is happening there shouldn't be happening, because the people that you have appointed there are coming from your camp. So two things are very key here. The UPND is consolidating their system within the judiciary. Then when you go to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, they are consolidating the same thing. Already in Parliament, they have managed to have Bill 7 in place. So already there again, after this cycle, after the elections in August, they will consolidate power within Parliament. You discourage us from commenting on another story, because, but before I conclude, how the UPND have consolidated power at Parliament, we have seen how the Deputy Speaker, who Ambassador said should be fired,
A referee.
someone who is supposed to be a referee has already closed the floor before Parliament is dissolved. The standard practice in Zambia, I remember, is it Malama? There was Malama PF, the Deputy Speaker under the PF, Mumba Malama. He was a strong PF individual, but you couldn't, he didn't behave in the manner Mr. Moyo and others are behaving. So this is why I'm saying, at the judiciary, the UPND have consolidated power. At the ECZ, they have consolidated power. In Parliament, they have consolidated power. So, like others have said, when someone does not become a dictator from nowhere, they begin in a strategic way. When you look at Mussolini or Hitler, there were policies that people were praising Hitler. You know what I mean?
Hail Hitler.
But there were certain institutions that he had consolidated power. Even if you are displeased with Hitler, you will not go anywhere.
Right. Ambassador, I will jump it. Let me go to PK and then I'll finish with you.
Please go ahead.
PK, you can take it up.
IP, this issue of term limit, again, I speak to the timing. This gentleman, Chileshe, was in PF. They appointed him to go and serve in Washington,
In Washington, D.C. as a press attaché.
As a press attaché. When PF lost power, he came back, he didn't know where to start from. Typical of most politicians, he had to forgo what he believed were the fundamentals that made him to support the PF, and quickly became a chameleon and adopted the UPND manifesto that he was denouncing when he was in power.
Yeah.
So now he has worked his way into the media team, in fact on the presidential media team side. He is very well placed to begin the conversation of no term limit.
He's not speaking from without.
No.
He's not speaking from without. He is on the presidential media team. And he is the right person to start this conversation because he is not originally from the UPND. They can come and say he is really not our member. So what he is speaking is not us. But they planted a thought in him. I'm being an analyst here.
Indeed.
So when he says that, remember, there is something that has already been achieved. When people were objecting Bill 7, one of the things that Bill 7 achieved was to abolish the term limit for mayors and the chairpersons. As things stand today, there is no term limit for chairpersons and for mayors because of Bill 7. So now we are close to an election, and the UPND thinks that the President Hakainde Hichilema is going to be voted for his second and last term. But they would rather he continues. They already planted the thought by making sure that there is inconsistency in what the law says about the presidential term limit and in what now the new law through Bill 7 says about chairpersons and mayors. So the thinking of Chileshe and all the people who crafted Bill 7 is to say, if and when Mr. Hakainde Hichilema wins for his last term, remember the configuration of Parliament has changed. You have many numbers because of Bill 7 that guarantees him all these other additional
Nominated members of Parliament.
Members of Parliament.
Yeah.
Okay? And apart from nominated members of Parliament, the proportional representation who will also be on his side. When that happens, Zambians hear me, when that happens, what is going to happen that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema in his last term will have majority in Parliament. There will be someone on the floor of the House who will raise an order or whatever they call it to say, why must we have inconsistency in the term limits? Chairpersons don't have term limits. Mayors don't have term limits. Why should the president have a term limit? At that stage, the law is bound to be changed to allow what Sishuashua is calling Wamuyayaya. I read an article from Sishuashua where he said, prepare for a Wamuyayaya. So if President Hichilema wins for the second and last term, they are going to push potentially for the same thing they pushed in Bill 7 to remove a term limit for the council chairperson and mayors. It was not coincidentally It was by design to come and use that as justification to make sure that the presidential limit also mirrors what happens at chairperson and mayor's level. That is what the analysis would like to put out to the Zambian people.
Ambassador, first of all, I like the fact that PK has given the background of who Cosmas Chileshe is. First of all, let me establish that he's our media colleague. You know, he's a journalist for that matter. But little did I know that political prostitution has got nothing to do with one being a journalist. PK mentioned that Cosmas Chileshe was a PF, and then he was sent in the go and serve abroad
In the foreign service.
in the foreign service. He came back. When he came back, probably one would say he failed to navigate his way out. You know, to perhaps sustain himself. That's me using some loose words here and there. You know,
Some very poignant and correct words. Please don't apologize.
no, I don't apologize. Don't worry. But again, maybe something we have missed out. Let's also establish that Chileshe, he also, when he moved away from the PF, he went to join Christian Democratic Party of Dr. Pule, Professor Pule. Again, he failed to stick there. He failed to make himself relevant.
Maybe there was no salt.
That is the time now he moved now into the UPND. Fast forward, we're talking about political prostitution. Fast forward, the gentleman now, he more like becomes a stooge, you know, start parading himself and trying to gain relevance, you know, to show himself. He begins to champion this agenda of a presidential term, abolishment and stuff like that. Then he wants to tell you and I that, no, that was my basically my opinion. When the moment they speak to the general public, it doesn't become your personal opinion. It becomes a public meal to consume. That's why we are here to analyze this statement. Ambassador,
I will actually
Close it
pick
up.
it up from, I will close it up. I'll pick it up from what Brother PK said. And I saw that and I thought it was pretty sad because I have known Cosmas Chileshe from back about 2014 there, just before President, 2011. He was working at ZNBC. He actually went to journalism school with my wife, Elaine. So he's like my young brother, you know. Yeah, you know, I'm about 54. I'm not young, you know. I may just look young, but you know, and handsome,
energetic.
you know, and talented. But you know, so I know him from way that back. So when I saw those words spewing from his mouth, I was kind of sort of taken aback because he's somebody whom I've met personally, and I did believe when I read Dr. Sishua's scientific article. You know, Dr. Sishua is into this predictive history because that's what he studied. So when he is making certain judgments and certain predictions, it's because it's based on what studies he has made. When he said that you hear these words coming out of Cosmas Chileshe from the UPND, you must take them seriously. He is a Rottweiler. He is, you know, like a catch dog. Swah, you know, Cosmas, swah, go and pick up that ball. Yeah, go and start.
You are talking about use what I call useful
idiot.
Cadres.
Or useful cadre.
Yes.
But useful idiot. Useful
cadres.
idiot is not an insult for Cosmas. Useful idiot means when they need somebody to say something they cannot say for a certain reason,
They'll use that.
they use people like you. Because you are weak in the party. You don't really belong to the party. They can't trust you because you have already betrayed the people you used to work with, and now you are with them.
They'll say,
but they're
show
going to
your
have to
relevance.
use you, and you have to be relevant. So you will have to do some deeper introspection. If you are doing a strategic job, maybe you're not, but if you have to show that you have totally abandoned the beliefs and ideologies that you have, then you become a useful idiot. And Dr. Sishua mentioned something very, very crucial, very poignant. He said the selection of using Cosmas Chileshe to bring out this statement, to throw out the gauntlet, was deliberate and scientific. Cosmas Chileshe is Bemba, and the UPND is known to be politically, this is a factual thing. Let's not forget this. Like in the United States, there's the blue states, and the red states. That means there is the Democrats and there is the Republicans. Even in, right here in Zambia, we have the UPND, which has predominantly been Zambezi, Southern Province, Northwestern Province, and Western Province, where I personally come from myself. And then the Patriotic Front has been also known to be, you know, northern-centric. So these are facts we should put on the table. So if you want to make that message sound authentic, that this message is not laced in any ulterior motives, of course you get a Bemba to say that Tonga should continue. That's what Dr. Sishua was saying.
Politicians do sometimes.
That's what they do sometimes. You know, it's called the rules. It's called a red herring. It's called, you know, just scattering a couple of bullets around, so that you don't really know where they're going. Like Captain Katongo would say, who is that soccer captain? The one who helped us win the Christopher Katongo. You know, even when I'm there, I'm not there. Even when I'm there, I'm not there. So in short, all I'm saying is we should not discard, we should not ignore what Cosmas Chileshe said. Right. We should take it very seriously. If I were one of the guys in the Socialist Party, in the Tonse Alliance, in the Citizens First, I would do what Harry Kalaba has done, the brother would do. I would immediately write the Electoral Commission of Zambia or challenge the Law Association of Zambia and say, can you please interpret to us what this statement means? Should we have something to worry about?
We end there. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for that.
Even when I'm there,
I'm
not there.
It's the people talking.
Even when I'm there.
I know, it's the people who wants me to go for a third term.
Like Kelvin Sampa said, it's simple. My job is simple. Where is it now?
Well, I don't know.
In jail.
He's doing the job in jail.
His job is simple.
Let's go to another story, gentlemen. We'll look at the Citizens First and President Harry Kalaba, of course, was
I spoke too early.
Exactly, you preempted a bit.
I should probably pick it up first.
You will. An alarm over electoral integrity and rise to the African Union for intervention. Now, they are about a few months again before the general election, and a lot is happening. Zambia's, political landscape so far, stakeholders still strongly feel that the elections in Zambia may not be free and fair as it were. And of course, Citizens First, President Harry Kalaba and his team, they have decided to take a step further by engaging other international stakeholders to quickly set their eyes on the Zambian, electoral body. Ambassador, let me start with you.
Please, thank you very much for stealing the thunder from beneath your wings. There is something you gotta say about Citizens First President Harry Kalaba. Whether you like him or not, call him arrogant if you like, and call him, hard-nosed. But one thing I have known, I worked as an ambassador in one of the biggest missions in the whole country, and I knew him first when I was also managing director of the Zambia Daily Mail, and our relationship continued to the time I was in Sweden as acting head of mission, and up to Berlin when I was head of mission. And one thing I have seen about him is he's consistent. When he bites, he sticks in the teeth, and he continues on that particular path. From the time that you saw him resign from the Patriotic Front, leaving one of the most lucrative jobs, for reasons that he gave, they're in the public domain, he has kept a persistent path. He even contested an election and became number 3 in that race. Some people say it was a distant third away, but third is third. You cannot say it's fourth. He actually beat some people that had already been in the race. and in the fight longer than him. So what I'm trying to say is what he did, we saw one politician, and I'm a communication strategist like brother, Pastor PK. By the way, I didn't tell you, you're looking resplendent today in the military green suit. I don't know whether you want to join Commander Solochi, Oziel, or both. But I just had to mention this.
Commander Kuishiva.
Commander Kuishiva. Yeah, you know. So he has been consistent, and he knows, I think, what is called, what we would call in communications, advocacy politics. So he does not only talk about something when he wants something to change. And you have to listen to me, other politicians.
Yeah.
What he does is, if he's going to say, no, we are concerned about the fact that Emmanuel Bwalia died in a pit latrine at University of Zambia because of non-investment in the latrine system or the sanitation system in the University of Zambia. He doesn't stop at that. He will write a letter either to the Minister of Education or to the Chancellor. You know, that way you keep a record. And this is what we have seen him do. It is highly commendable, Honorable Kalaba. This is what we have seen him do when he makes a complaint that we see the democratic space shrinking. We want this to change. He has followed it up with a letter to the African Union, to the Southern African Development Community, and to several others. That way you keep a record. And this is free advice to many politicians. And I have seen the other person who does this is my old friend and brother, Honorable Brian Mundovile. I saw also recently he issued statements where he had met the European Union and put his complaints over. And I've seen him, I've watched him recently. Great program, by the way, again, Pastor Kennedy Mambwe on the State of the Nation, where he repeated these issues. If you want a political change, you gotta be the change first. And this is what Harry Kalaba and Brian Mundovile have been trying to do. If anybody had to ask me for my free one-on-way on what happens, I actually believe that if we had people like Honorable Mundovile and Honorable Harry Kalaba and Honorable Fred Membe and a few others get together, Makebi Zulu, in order to strengthen the opposition. I hope I'm not diverting, but I'm talking about advocacy politics here. We would see real advocacy, and we would really see that things that people like Cosmas Chileshe, I don't even know. I didn't know one day we would sit on TV and discuss Cosmas Chileshe. My God, I mean, Cosmas, really?
He's a Zambian.
I know he's a Zambian, but he's a paperweight, to use Donald Trump's words. Cosmos is a paperweight. He doesn't warrant.
But he's being used.
That's what I'm saying.
To propose.
I know
something that can change our.
That's the thing.
Our democracy.
Our democracy.
Yes.
And you know, like they say, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the powerful people have fronted a paperweight like Cosmos Chileshe.
We used to have Chamacha Komboka.
I know, yeah, you know, lightweight, like Trump would say, very bad guy, very down guy, I don't know. He didn't have a job, and then I gave him a job, and then people said, you know, he's good, maybe he's not, you know. But I gave him a job. I mean, people like Cosmos, I didn't even know him myself until they told me that there is this guy called Cosmos. You know, but let me get back to the point. We were talking about President Harry Kalaba and others like Mundovile and others like Dr. Fred Membe in advocacy politics. And we need it because we have seen a clear and present danger when we see people like Cosmos Chileshe coming back to drag us in the past where we came from. We said 27 years, enough of Kenneth Kaunda standing against frogs and rats and dogs and cats. Now we gotta have people stand against people. And that's how we saw President Frederick Chiluba come in and the return of multi-party politics. Down the line from 19, Kenneth Kaunda, by the way, condolences to the Kaunda family over the death of the son of the president, Mr. Kaweche Kaunda. Very, very sorry, but I'm sure that's another topic. But
Yeah.
I mean, we invoke the spirit of the president here.
Correct.
What we left is what Mr. Cosmas Chileshe is talking about. That's why we are calling you a paperweight. Because if you had depth, Chileshe, you would have said, please don't send me to go and say this. I'll be biting my tongue if I go and say this. We did away with single party politics. Look at what happened in Malawi. There was a coalition, there was an alliance. They booted out, they beat Professor Mutharika. He went back into the sticks, he went back onto the drawing board, and he came back roaring, and he became president again. He has come back, he hasn't said, since you chased me out last time, I'm going to change the law. Look at what happened in Ghana. President Dramani, he was beaten, he was rejected. He went back to the sticks. He didn't start a war. He went to the drawing board, and now he's president. The same thing can happen to President Hakainde Hichilema. Perhaps this first 5 years wasn't really his. Perhaps he wasn't ready for it. If he fails now, like President Edgar Lungu used to say when he had failed.
I want you to wind up.
I am winding up
Yeah.
now. If he fails now, he can go back. He's not an old man. He's in his early 60s.
Yeah.
He can go back and come back and say, guys, get me. I have the experience now. Last time I didn't have the experience. But Chileshe, I've been told to cut down on this. But we ain't going back to the Stone Age. We say no. We are not going back to Wamuyaya. This is a democracy. It's not a kleptocracy. It's not a chiefdom. And it's not a kingdom.
Right. PK, I want you to pick it up. The concerns raised by CF leader in the President Harry Kalaba ahead of the elections.
President Harry Kalaba of the Citizens First, probably one of the political contenders, presidential aspirants that Zambians should really begin to think about critically, because he has exemplified his integrity in the manner that he runs his politics.
Yeah.
You cannot be foreign affairs minister and resign with all the perks that go with the job.
Correct.
To come and start a political career, you don't even know where it's going to take you. But here we are, few years after he resigned. He has established himself as a credible political personality with a network of friends in the region, including sitting heads of state, having been a foreign affairs minister. I would like to believe when I read this, it doesn't look like the SADC don't know what's happening in Zambia. It doesn't look like African Union don't know what's happening in Zambia. It would look like, for me, someone said, just write to us.
Indeed. Put it on record.
Put it on record. We already know, but no one has written.
Yeah.
So, leveraging his network.
Sorry, but PK. It's like IP going for a job interview at CNN. They said, no, we already know about you. Just put it in writing so that we can have something for the file.
Yes. So, away from giving him all the kudos, let me speak specifically to this letter.
Right.
It is very important that Zambia begins to put these things on record.
Indeed.
Because when the Human Rights Watch writes and says, Zambia, you are regressing in terms of human rights, we take it for granted. When MISA issues a Fox report about media freedoms and they say there is a danger as far as media freedoms are concerned, yes, a media house may not have been closed, but that's not alone. That's not the issue. There is a report even just last week of cadres with police went
that
to
story was sad.
went to Mpongwe radio station last week to ask them to stop a paid-for live program.
Would you say last week? It sounds very... It's like 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Of course, it's last week.
Yeah.
Today
It's
is
last week.
Sunday evening. Yes.
Okay.
And this was intra-party, wasn't it?
Yes.
Could you just give us the background again?
Well, we can talk offline because I want to stick to this.
Yeah.
That it is very important that political figures like President Harry Kalaba must now begin to lift a megaphone and tell the world what you might have been hearing about is actually happening. It's true. there was an observer group from the European Union that was in the country.
Yes.
I know he is among the many political figures, including Dr. Membe, BM8 and HK8 himself. They went to
do presentations.
To their concerns. But Europe is far too removed from us. Our brothers are within the SADC and
the African Union.
Yes. As a matter of fact, African Union was launched from
Zambia. It was
Okay.
Yeah.
From
OAU, yes,
to African Union. So it would be very sad, dear viewers and my dear colleagues here. It would be very sad that Zambia, that helped to liberate the region, should be the one to be calling for help in the manner that we are going. I wanted to say Pastor Hichilema, President Hichilema. That's
Elder
Hichilema. That would be an indictment on your leadership. If Kaunda liberated Zambia and Zambia has remained a beacon of peace, for us, under your regime, to begin to force your political competitors writing to AU and SADC and everyone else to say, come and help us. That is not a good thing on your CV as a president. You may need to rethink that. It is not a good thing.
It's not a good thing at all.
We all must be clapping here to say President Hichilema is the man.
Yes.
We must all be...
It's the embodiment of Kenneth Kaunda.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, in the UK...
Or the embodiment of Harry Wangankumbu.
In the USA. In the USA. For those who are saying you can't develop for 10 years. USA, they have got only 2 terms, 4 years.
Yes. Not even 5.
Not even 5.
Yes.
4 years. And you serve 8 years, you're done.
You're done.
Where is
You can't
Obama
come
today?
back. Well, he's a lecturer. He's a visiting professor.
There
he
you
goes
go.
around shaking hands.
So those of you that are contemplating to say, no, Zambia is in the right hands. Yes, it is in the right hands, but only 2 terms.
Indeed.
Period. That's what the law says. Anyone who attempts to change the law, yes, the EU must come. The
African Union must come. Yes.
Africa Union must come. And the Zambian people in August, if that is what it takes, you must vote and vote out the UPND, because it means they want to change the constitution, they want to change the democracy. That someone will accuse me to say, you are campaigning. No, I am not campaigning. I am speaking as a Zambian.
And I'm following. You said if.
Yes, if.
Yeah,
And
I'm following
look,
your submission.
the same way we told Chiluba to say you cannot go for a 3rd term. Why should we keep quiet? Because it is President Hichilema who is appointing cadres in ECZ? No, sir. We are not scared of our president. He's our president. And in fact, we are his employers. We employed him. The ones who should do his evaluation, it is us. I've been employed before. And here I'm an employer. We have what we call key performance indicators.
KPIs.
Let me judge your president based on inflation, based on jobs,
job creation,
based on
poverty
industrialization, poverty reduction, and all of these things. But when you are touching the constitution and the appointing cadres at institutions of governance, I have a problem.
There's Gideon Boko, I think, from Botswana, who says any president who attempts to run for the 2nd term, that person is an instant failure. Is he right when he say that? I don't know if you have come across that video.
No, but even him wants to run for another term. So maybe
so how do we interpret that?
He was prophesying that he's a failure himself.
Right. It was a thing where we were told that a greatest talker is what?
The greatest liar. Was that Kalimanshi?
Yes.
A Saka cannot be a tent. Goli Saka, Nishuli Saka, even when you are there, you are not there.
When you are a failure, you are a failure. You can have 3 times and it still fail.
No, but Mapike is still roaring with thunder.
You guys, you like digressing. Leave Kalimanshi alone, please. As we are discussing,
I'm American.
As we are discussing,
not a Malebanese.
No. We are discussing serious issues.
Right.
One of the things that President Kalaba, I'm looking at his letter here. Dispatch an agent fact-finding or observer mission to Zambia. Engage your counterpart, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, on the need to safeguard electoral integrity. Encourage measures to restore public confidence in the independence of the Electoral Commission, and it goes on and on. These are key issues that President Hakainde Hichilema should not wait for anyone from outside. His team of advisors should sit him down and say, sir, you have done well, but you are about to lose it if you do not address these issues.
1, 2, 3, 4.
One of the things that President Hakainde Hichilema has distinguished, as I submit, one of the things he has distinguished himself with is the lack of change of posture when he has decided on a thing. If he says it's Mwangalaza Romes, it doesn't matter what you say about Mwangalaza Romes, he has chosen. If he says it is your brother, Sinkala, it doesn't matter what everyone else says, he would have decided. Today, as we speak, the president should have told Mr. Jack Mwimbu to say there is a public outcry about this. Can you stop it? But as I speak to you today, we have seen people reporting at Relay. And the president is okay, he's comfortable, he doesn't care about what people are saying about a secret recruitment.
It goes back to Rolamit who said the UPND are like that boss who say, so what are you going to talk about?
Can you imagine?
What can you do?
It reminds me of the president himself. When he says, Aikona man.
But you're coming back at
I didn't know what he meant. Now when I see everything happening, President Hakainde Hichilema, I see you.
Comrade Mike Sichula, quickly, your take over this issue.
You know, electoral integrity, as PK read the letter, when electoral integrity is high, if Mr. Kalaba is going to lose the elections, you accept the results. But if electoral integrity is low, there will be voter apathy and there will be a lot of electoral disputes. So this is the importance of Mr. Kalaba writing to the writing to foreign bodies to say, let Zambia uphold electoral integrity. Because once that is not there, if Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is going to win on August 13, people are still going to have disputes. Why people are going to have disputes? Because of the process leading to the elections. We are just from talking about the appointment of a non-UPND cadre amongst other non-UPND cadre to be head of the Electoral Commission of Zambia. That takes away the electoral integrity. It is the same like IP. You have a football team, I have a football team, then we say let's go to Heroes Stadium. Then it is me who is at home at Heroes Stadium. It is me to appoint referees. It is me to appoint the ball boys. It is me to appoint even the match commissioner. If there will be a penalty that you are going to dispute, because I'm the one who has appointed the referees.
You're the ref, you're the side man.
You know what I mean? Huh? So it takes away the electoral integrity of an election. This is why Mr. Kalaba's position should be taken seriously by President Hakainde Hichilema, because it is not only exposing Zambia's poor governance of elections to the outside world, but it is also telling a story to say, but look, when Mr. Hichilema comes to the AU, he presents himself in such a manner, but what we are receiving from his oppositions, it's something that is contrary to how he presents himself. So Mr. Hichilema needs to understand that when others are complaining, he must listen. Because even him, during the reign of President Edgar Lungu, he wrote to the UN, he wrote to all these foreign bodies complaining. Commonwealth, and we saw Patricia Scotland come to Zambia. We wrote all those letters saying that the Zambian electoral system was under siege. But I don't think Mr. Hakainde Hichilema today could point at any commissioner of the late President Edgar Lungu who was a non-PF cadre. And when we compare the two, we would see to say, I think sometimes when you complain, when you come into office, you begin to act otherwise. So the position taken by Mr. Harry Kalaba should be supported by other opposition political parties. Then I also further want to urge Mr. Harry Kalaba, even as he uses this energy to complain to the outside world, he must also use the same energy to canvass for vote within Zambia, because the Zambians that he convinces are the Zambians that are going to vote for him.
Interesting. Let's quickly move, gentlemen and the viewers out there following the program. In case you've just joined us, this is the analysis program where we discuss national or governance issues. But of course, remember, our conversation are always blunt, and conversations are always, deep, as it were. So if you are a person that really wants to know nothing but the truth, this is a platform to be. But if you sometimes you feel like agitated, it's very easy for you to step aside just for 1 hour. Then later on, you still come back to the screens. Let's move on to the fifth story. Now, I'll be giving a minute to each one of you so that we quickly cut the rest of the topics that have remained. We'll look at the secret recruitment in the Zambia police. I think this is a story which has been making headlines in the last 1 week in Zambia. And of course, information has it that people were given jobs in the Zambia Police Service, but this recruitment was never advertised at all. And of course, later on, after the rumors began to emerge, and the media also were exposed these things, we have seen that the Zambia Police has come on board to give clarity to this matter. So we will listen to Mr. Chilabi, the Zambia Police spokesperson, Mr. Godfrey Chilabi. We hear what he talked about and his clarification and what is currently happening on the ground. Let's watch the video of Mr. Chilabi, the Zambia Police spokesperson. Right, thank you so much. Let's begin from here. PK, let's start from here again. Now we'll be going for a 1 minute, 30 seconds if we can, quickly, so that we move.
I start by saying that, first of all, what has happened is a very huge disappointment, not to just me, but the Zambian people. Huge disappointment. Why? Mr. Grafo Musamba is on record, and we played his video on the analysis some time back, when he said some of the police officers are junkies. Now, those junkies that he talked about were junkies that were employed through an open process. They were scrutinized. They met the criteria. Here we are. Mr. Grafo Musamba, who called these officers junkies, has now recruited people whom we don't know. If those is in charge of junkies, what more the ones is sneaked in? What are they? What are they? Are they also junkies times 2? Do they have clean records? Do they have criminal records? Who are they? Where are they coming from? When there was a letter that circulated at once in February, and I think that letter, which could be on the screen, when that letter did rounds, most people called it fake and AI, signed by the Secretary General of the UPND, calling for
20 young people from each of your constituencies.
Exactly. Calling for names.
Yes.
And that's the same letter, by the way, just to put to make it clear that the UPND have disputed it.
They've disputed it.
They are saying it's fake now.
Yeah. Well, it was fake then, and it is fake now. But what is not fake is that
people
there
have been
is
recruited.
a secret recruitment.
Yes.
So how can they say that letter is fake when there is a secret recruitment? So when did they advertise? And Mr. Chilabi, Mr. Chilabi has said,
He has confirmed.
He has confirmed, but he has said it was through an internal staffing exercise. We as KBN yesterday wrote a story, ran a story, because some police officers disputed and disagreed with what Mr. Chilabi said. And they said it has never happened, that number one, in the history of Zambia. Then number two, the civilians, they said the civilians who are in the police service cannot be co-opted into the service for 2 reasons. One, age. There's a certain age at which you can be co-opted. Number 2 is fitness.
I read that story.
Yes, you must be fit to be considered fit for the police
job,
exercise. So the police officers themselves have disagreed with what the police command have come up with as justification. So who are we going to believe? The party that has said that letter is fake?
They are refusing.
Or Mr. Chilabi, who has said it was an internal exercise? Or Mr. Grafo Msamba, who has kept quiet about this recruitment of police officers? And now people are saying, you see, because when you create this kind of an atmosphere, a government that listens to the people should have said, hold on,
Yeah.
can you halt this recruitment
Correct.
until maybe after the elections?
Yeah.
But now, because there is no such undertaking, people are even beginning to say, is it possible that this is a recruitment attached to the
Elections.
upcoming election?
Yes.
We don't know. Because what is the justification to rush a recruitment? Why? Mr. Grafo Musamba must answer this. Mr. Jack Mwimbu must answer this. Everyone who is concerned must answer to these concerns. And if it's not a crisis, stop it.
Ambassador, your 1 minute, 30 seconds.
My 1 minute IP, our host with the most, taking the the steam from the PK. I will go again to the money. It costs a lot to train 3,000 police men and women in a country like Zambia, which is ranked as the 5th poorest and most hungriest country in the world, according to the World Bank latest statistics, which is extremely sad. I mean, it's like that saying of, saying poverty in a land of plenty, or that song by Bob Marley called Rat Race, where he quotes the Bible saying that in the midst of plenty of water, a fool dies of thirst. So all I am saying is we keep going around with a begging bowl that we do not have money. And yet the few resources that we could use for something else, such as poverty alleviation or digging latrines or correcting the sanitation at the University of Zambia so that 18-year-old Emmanuel Walia does not die. We are recruiting police 4 months before the elections. It takes a lot of money. I think it takes about, I don't know, I'm not sure whether it's 3 months or 6 months for them to finish their basic training. But when they come out again, you are ballooning the budget. The constable at entry get between 3,500 kwacha per month to 5,000 kwacha when they have blossomed. So let's just say at 5,000 kwacha, that's per one policeman, that's 55,000 kwacha per year. Now multiply that. You guys who know how to calculate. I can only do 1 + 1. I don't really know. Once you go to 5 + 5, I get lost. So again, all I am saying is we have continued to seek further funding. We have continued to go around begging with a begging bowl, and yet we keep increasing our budget. We keep blowing it up. We keep getting new judges. We keep getting new commissioners. We keep getting into things such as delimitation exercises, all these sort of things that cost money. So I think even the people that help us with budget support are saying, should we really be helping these guys? Are they really broke? They just employed teachers. They just employed policemen. They just employed judges. Are we sending, and all these things that are coming. I know there is a shortage of police.
Where is Patrick Kangwa really to control all these things? He's the head of the civil service. What is happening?
Well, I don't really know about that. Maybe we should have a special program. And actually, he would be a good guest on State of the Nation and the Big Hour. So you gave me that. Please, you must. You should say, what are all these expenses you are coming out? And in fact, the other person you should get in touch with, IP and PK, is Tumbeko Musokotwan, the Minister of Finance. You tell us you are broke. You tell us that you inherited empty coffers. But now we keep seeing you employing. You are recruiting people. You are doing delimitation exercises. You are bringing in Bill 7. You are doing all sorts of things that cost a lot of money.
Right.
And that's where I would like to end.
Thank you so much. Comrade Mike Sichula, your quick take. I think for me, I still remain disappointed with Mr. Kangwa because he's the head of the civil service. And if we're going to have cadres being recruited into the civil service, really, what is he doing?
What if you are ceremonial and the power has been taken away from you?
Then get
You're
out.
just
I mean,
secretary
then get
to
out
the
of that
cabinet.
office. It's a public office. Go home and sleep. If you are incapable, or if you are impotent.
And give up your 700,000 kwacha per year
Of course.
and the Land Cruiser.
Anyway, go
Well,
back.
okay. I think if you look at 3,000 police constables, that is 25 for 116 districts, which is almost tallying to the UPND letter that was dismissed. But are we training these police officers for the general elections? When you look at the training for police constables under normal circumstances, it's supposed to be 12 months. Then for police cadet officers, it is supposed to be 18 months. Then for those that are calling specialized...
And I love that analysis. I was about to ask you that question.
Specialized
Take it slow.
officers, it's less than 6 months. So you look at, if you are going to do a normal circumstance training for a police constable, it's 12 months, which
Correct.
is 1 year.
That's what I know.
So meaning, it is not, these officers are not going to come out before the general election. So we are not preparing them for this general
Or
election.
will they compromise by taking them out of the camp?
That will be that will be determined by the police by the police division themselves. But the problem has arisen because of the secretness. How do you employ 3,000 police officers that are going to be paid taxpayers' money, and within the system, police do not know? So the danger about such recruitments, the next police IG, in the event the UPND lost power, the next IG is going to say exactly what Mr. Musamba said. Mr. Musamba looked down on the past IG to say you employed junkies. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because under normal circumstance, if you have noticed, when a person has been appointed the Minister of Finance, when the next person is appointed the Minister of Finance, they don't demean each other.
No.
They don't do that.
No.
So the problem with Musamba he has created, instead of just sitting there to do the role he was given by President Hakainde Hichilema, he began to demean past police IG.
I like that point. Can I just add in
Please,
one more little
please,
thing there?
you may go ahead.
You have never heard Mr. Christopher Mvunga, former Bank of Zambia governor, say anything about the policies of Dr. Denny Kariaria. No. If it is to speak, they'll probably call each other and speak offline.
It is called the morality.
It's morality and respect for the office of those that held the office before you.
Indeed.
So the moment you say that one employed the junkies, you are demeaning the office. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is the problem that we have created. So the next IG is probably going to say the same. Again, we must move away from that as a nation. Because if you are appointed by the president, you are appointed, because everyone in Zambia is appointed in the name of the president. When you take up the office, you must perform your duties professionally. Right. So these officers that have gone to rely, according to them, it is not the Zambian people who have employed them, it is Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. That is the problem that we have created. So when they pass out, they come out, their behavior...
Their allegiance.
Yes, their behavior and allegiance will be to the UPND, which is not what we want.
Not the country.
Not the country. So before you, my colleagues, my brothers and sisters who have gone to rely, past administrations employed other Zambians who served as police officers. So you are not any different from others. So forget about this issue, whether you came through the secretariat of the UPND, forget about it, perform your duties professionally.
Right. We will share 1 minute each one of us as we look at the Moses Moyo, the second Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly in Zambia, has now officially joined the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND. But also, on the other hand, we've seen that the Speaker herself now, the boss, Nelly Mutti, has also reserved the ruling on defection or individuals who defected from the opposition political parties to the ruling party. There was a point of order which was raised last week by George Chisanga's council, questioning the speaker as to why those seats have not been declared vacant, and the speaker said, I have to start the matter, I will come back to give the ruling. So let's have just a bit of some videos of Mr. Moyo, and I'll take you to Parliament as well to hear what the speaker talked about.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
As the country heads to the August pause, the ruling UPND has continued to attract a lot of supporters. This time around, Rwangan Independent Member of Parliament Moses Moyo, who is also second Deputy Speaker of National Assembly, Chikando Ward Councillor William Daka, and over 3,000 supporters have joined UPND.
N'ekyaga kino kya 2020 sikisi pa 13 August nwimirira pa kipaani kya UPND nakuti pano kumuniona tete nine wa UPND. And nushta indozi President Hakainde pa vifukwa vinaravira. So
tachoka mu independent burulingi twende na pamoja mshitngo. So nushta indozi utineyo lina mpavu na time ya kutinisebeze pamoja na bani na President HH.
Fanny Pili of Chikando Ward spoke on behalf of other defectors.
I had no intention of debating, but since a number of things, false allegations have been made, it is my responsibility to respond to those. I think the first thing is to say that on so many occasions on this House, I've asked colleagues to invest in knowledge, because if you speak from absence of knowledge, if you speak falsehoods, you are a danger to yourself, you are also a danger to the nation. Because when you make allegations which are false, and then you get dragged to court, get arrested, then you say that the government is unfair. Mr. Speaker, I want to demonstrate, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member for Nkana, you had an opportunity. No one interjected, no one interrupted. May you take your seat? The Honorable Minister is on the floor. Let him put his views across. Okay. May you proceed?
Mr. Speaker, I want to demonstrate that the previous speaker is a danger to himself and a danger to the country. And he's got that habit, Mr. Speaker, of peddling falsehoods. Just last week, he was alleging that this person speaking had formed a company together with a maid, and that company was given a big contract. I'm demonstrating that this man is unreliable. Okay? I'm demonstrating that he's unreliable. Therefore, the allegation that...
May you take your seat, Honorable Member? No, may you take your seat? Which no, just take your seat there.
Yeah, just wait.
Honorable Member for Nkana, may you leave my chamber. Leave the chamber. Just leave the chamber. No. You are expected to be honorable. And the people of Nkana are watching.
Come back. You can't even see the age.
No, it's very shameful that the Honorable Member of Parliament would behave in this manner. I think it's a message to the voters. The
Madam Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity given to me to raise this point of order, which is anchored on Article 72 of the Constitution. Madam Speaker, when we arrive in Parliament, our first order of business is to swear, to uphold the Constitution and to protect the Constitution. Now, one of the requirements of the Republican Constitution is that each member of Parliament must remain in their seat for the whole tenure of Parliament without defecting to another political party. Under Article 72(2), D and G, Madam Speaker, any member who changes political parties or one who was elected independent and joins a political party is deemed to have vacated his seat. Madam Speaker, it's on record that the following members of Parliament have defected to the UPND lately, and they've declared publicly so. Honorable Katambo, Honorable Mushanga, Honorable Chibuye, Honorable Sande Chanda, Honorable Nakaponda, and Honorable Ivan Kivombwe. Madam Speaker, I would like to seek your ruling on whether, by being in this House, these members are not abrogating the Constitution, specifically Article 72. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lukasha. I do not have details of what has transpired, so the best that I can do is to reserve the ruling so that we can inquire and look at what exactly happened. So, ruling is reserved to a date to be...
Right, thank you so much. We'll start with, from here, Mike Sichula, your quick 1 minute. I'll be very strict on the minutes now.
I think what we are witnessing in Zambia by the videos that we have seen is a very sad state of affairs in terms of the three arms of government. Because these defections of a deputy speaker who is an independent member of parliament being done publicly, it is eroding public confidence in parliament. Council George Chisenga has put up a point of order to requesting to know whether those seats where members of parliament from the UPF have defected to the UPND are going to be declared vacant. Yes, we may say we have run out of time in terms of the threshold of 180 days, but morality and upholding the law of governance must be respected at all times. Whether you are about to dissolve parliament, they must be upheld in highest esteem at all times. Look at Mr. Moyo. He has defected publicly. Then he comes to preside over a member of parliament who is going to say, are you in order to... Is this member of parliament in order to defect, and you remain silent that his seat or her seat has not been declared vacant? What position is Speaker Moyo going to say? Because he himself has defected.
Wow.
so we have created the lawlessness at the highest level. Instead of lawlessness being perpetuated where we have seen inter-party elections of the UPND in these districts, it is now being done inside Parliament where our laws are supposed to be made.
Wow. Ambassador, I'll give you 1 minute as well. Thank you, Mike, for sticking to my time. Please, thank you so much.
My 1 minute, the host is... Yes. I was not very surprised. I knew something was wrong with that guy.
Somewhere.
Every time I saw him speak, I knew something was amiss.
Wrong somewhere.
But then I'm not very surprised, because in this parliament, I also saw my very own aunt, State Council Nelly Mutti, dance when Bill 7 was passed. I was like, my God! What is happening? You know, here is the referee.
I guess one of these days, when we're ending, we should do a dance also.
We should do a dance, like, you know, the speaker, like, you know. I mean, can you imagine there's a match between Zambia and Congo, and then the Senegalese referee when who supports Zambia. When Zambia scores, the referee starts dancing. That was the Speaker of the National Assembly. So I don't know what kind of National Assembly that they have, where the Speaker goes, she's even asking guys, you know, like, right? So, you know, I mean, what do you expect? The Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, there are people who are operating just outside the decorum that has been set, the precedents that have been set on how the House should operate. Since 1964, they have come up with their own rules. Madam Nelly Mutti can stand up and dance in her gown that the ruling party has worn openly. And the Deputy Speaker, who has been seen to be very harsh on the opposition members of Parliament, wears a regalia openly. We all have partisan views in our hearts, but we are required to hide them, or rather not to show them openly, as we work for impartial organizations. That's my 1 minute.
Okay, your take.
IP, when I think of Wanyanga Mulikita, when I think of Naburiato, when I think of Amusa Mwanamwambwa, when I think of the recent one, Patrick Matibini, wherever they are,
Catherine Namugara,
wherever they are,
including the Vice President, the current Vice President,
she was a Romango.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about the deputy.
Oh, yes.
Because
Okay.
Moyo will tell you that I'm the deputy, so I can misbehave in short. You know?
But you know, Moyo has been encouraged by the boss. I mean, he saw the boss dancing.
Okay.
I mean, if the boss comes for work late, I can come late for work too.
So I've called out these names
The
because
predecessors.
I have heard people say, and I actually agree with that notion, that this is the worst parliament Zambia has ever had in the history of our 60 years.
But people, not people. State Council John Sangwa said the Speaker has gone rag. It's unconstitutional. The Speaker has gone rag.
There you go.
Yeah, on record.
There you go. So this is the worst parliament, IP. So I'm not surprised that the substantive Speaker has reserved the ruling. Then the number two goes and does the same thing over which a ruling is pending. It means he knows something. There will be no ruling.
There will be no ruling.
Indeed.
That's what he has told us.
Yeah.
No, that's the analysis.
Because it will mean that even his seat will need to be nullified.
Exactly.
Yes. So he knows.
Because he has also crossed the floor.
He has crossed the floor. So this is the impunity we are talking about. This is the lawlessness we are talking about. This is the unprecedented level of misrule we have been talking about. How can a speaker go to, you just respect the fact that you were honored to begin, and then wait and say, look, you are pushing me to resign, even if you want to give me running mate, please give me a bit of time.
Let's run the cycle.
Let Parliament be dissolved.
Yes.
Then you can come and give me the running mate, if it is what if it is what it takes.
Also, there's like a running mate on the.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
You know, but maybe I can be prophetic. You never know. You know, because you see, someone in my language we say.
And then Moyo, Speaker Moyo, he goes to Parliament, and I laughed. He tells the people of Zambia, no, Zambians, look at the members of Parliament you are sending to the House. Next time,
on
Bino Mpondo.
Yes.
Who does that?
And then
now, Mr.
So him is rightly fit there.
Now, Mr. Moyo, let's speak to him. Now, Mr. Moyo, look at your own record.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be a speaker. You don't actually deserve to be a member of Parliament. No. The people of what area is that? Luangeni. People of Luangeni
voted for an independent.
You need to rethink your position there.
The next moment.
Look, he spoke using his immunity.
Yes.
Let us also speak using our immunity.
Yes.
Mr. Moyo.
And I think he has compromised his immunity already by wearing party
Yes,
colors.
Oh, yes, yes,
When
yes.
he could have
Yes,
waited.
yes.
Isn't it only 2 months?
It's a month.
It's 1 month.
It's 1 month.
He could have
13.
waited a month, Moyo. That's why I always used to say you didn't deserve this job, with due respect.
What?
And you know what it means when people say with due respect.
So
What?
it's basically the house which has degenerated.
Into chaos.
And
you think,
lawlessness.
and you think that's a house that can protect the constitution? That is the house that can butcher, annihilate, and suspend the constitution. That house is dangerous.
Wow.
House is on fire.
Gentlemen, as we talk about that house, which is dangerous, as PK has analyzed it, or views it, let's also look at some of the bills that are yet to be passed in the next 1 month from now. And I don't know which among the bills you'd want to pick on, Mike Sichula, quickly within a minute.
No, I can't pick on any, but I'll just write on what we spoke about earlier on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a bill is not a one-page paper that you present to Parliament.
Correct.
A member of Parliament can look and say, okay, A, B, C, D. And also
It's not a love letter.
And also, yes, and also the language needs, sometimes it will need you seeking a legal mind to interplay. Now, you are going to lump them, 15 of them. This is why, in this country, we keep on doing constitutional reviews, because we rush certain processes that need time. You push them at the end. PK Ebori spoke to this. It is by design that these bills have been brought kumalasti, where people are expecting their gratuity, where people are in relaxed mode, where people are in
no time to think
people
properly,
are in
analyze properly.
they are in defection mood, thinking of adoption. Then you bring and campaign. Then you bring these important bills.
Wow.
Because the moment these bills will be passed, don't be surprised the next year people begin to talk about lacunas or gaps, gray areas in some of these bills.
Right.
I'll talk to one bill.
Quickly, my time is up. Yes.
For instance, the Vice President's bill.
Yeah.
I thought myself we could have used that bill to talk about the benefits of the president even when he dies. That has been excluded. We have just talked about how we are going to give them money, you are going to build them houses and so on and so forth. But an important issue that we are facing now as a nation, we haven't buried Mr. Edgar Lungu for over 10 months.
And one would have thought it should be
It should have been there. So this is but now you ramp the 15 bills plus others and forget about such an important item.
And talking about that bill alone, pick a quickly as you wind up. It is now that we are bringing this bill. We want to enact this bill into law to take care of the former vice presidents and also the president.
Without burying the...
But again, as we speak today, we were told that former vice presidents are getting allowances. Yes. Which law did we use? If you combine all that, quickly, PK.
So there is no law that we relied on. What the president did, he used his power to appoint them as
special
envoys.
Using whose money?
Well, forget about money. He used his power, discretionary. So he appointed them as the special envoys, whatever they've been doing. But that's the only justification he can use to get Dr. Mumba a VX, to get Madam Inonga a VX, to get Kavindele a VX, and put them on a stipend.
Dr. Mumba and Dr. Kavindele, these are actively involved into politics.
Yes.
From what I understand,
against the constitution.
From what I understand, the General Malimba Masheke refused the offer.
So there is also
he refused.
Godfrey Mianda.
I'm told he also refused.
I'm not too sure. No, I think he's there. So they have been drawing a salary. They got vehicles and state protection. If you go to the houses of these people, former vice presidents, they are now under state protection. But that was never supported by law. Hence this introduction of the bill. But my colleague there, Sichula, raises a very important question. You are in South Africa arguing over a dead body of a former president because the constitution does not say how the funeral of a late president, former president should be treated. You have a bill that has gone to the floor of the House And I really hope that thing is in there. Because if it is not there, then all of this we are doing is just politics.
It's not there, PK. It's not
It's
there.
not. I've seen the 15.
It's
There are
not
how many?
there.
There's a total of 15. Yeah, I'm glad Yes Chula, the Baba, you know, Mbala Mafia raised that. It's not there. And I think we should be, you know, humane enough to look at the fact that we are trying to get people on the payroll, trying to get people to have a continuous pay, but we still haven't buried the man who is 60th president of Zambia. I think this has already given us a very bad name as we clicked, you know, 10 months on April 5.
Right.
This should be considered. So my appeal, you know,
On
is
May
that
5.
on May
May
5. May 5, let us make sure that the Edgar Lungu issue, it's a very toxic issue for our country. It's going to come to haunt us for a very long time.
Right.
I see one celebration after another come in, Christmas, New Year, Labor Day, whatever come in, and I see people posing either with their wives or their girlfriends, and we are celebrating things while we still have not buried a president. But let me come to these bills.
Right.
A bill takes a long time. There is an unlimited time, actually, that it should take for a bill in Zambia to run, because there is 3 readings. First reading, second reading, third reading. And then there is a period where the president has to assent it into law within 21 days of it having been
Including
passed.
the committee sittings.
Including the committee sittings. It takes a lot of time. Are you going to make lifetime decisions in 30 days? I'm not talking about one lifetime decision. I'm talking about 15 lifetime decisions. Zambia, where are we going? Where is the Law Association of Zambia in this matter? Where is the NGOCC in this matter? At least the members of parliament have an opportunity to say either they will stay away, or we may see what happened on Bill 7. Maybe they will be flown off someplace, and maybe they will come back and assent to all these bills. At the same time, we're supposed to do ratification of judges.
Quickly, give us an
30
update,
days.
Ambassador, on the US-Iran talks, which has, of course, ended in a stalemate.
Well, thank you very much. There's been a 40-day war, you know, as you know, between the United States of America, Israel, and Iran. And the biggest issue for us, because quickly, is the fact that we get affected because we get most of our oil from the Middle East. And when elephants fight, the grass suffers. So there has been a ceasefire that was entered just a night, 2 hours before President Donald Trump threatened to annihilate a 5,000-year civilization of Iran, Persia. And then he realized that he couldn't do that. But the good thing is at least they agreed to go to Islamabad, Pakistan, which itself is at conflict with India. But the more important thing here is after that very expensive 40-day war, there's supposed to be a ceasefire. President Donald Trump, who said he would not turn back, he said, open that Hormuz or I'll obliterate you. He capitulated. He was represented in Islamabad by his vice president, Mr. J.D. Vance, a Yale scholar. And Yale, Iran, was represented by the foreign affairs minister and the speaker. But they hit...
I think Ambassador needs Jesus.
Why?
Ambassador needs to be born again.
Is he lost?
He's using too many this word and that word.
No, that wasn't me. That was on the Twitter.
I'm going to lay my hands on you.
And I will accept that. Amen.
Some English words. Can you please conclude?
So I will conclude by saying, it is a good thing. There's good news and bad news. The bad news is the first day by PK, there was a stalemate. That was day number 1 on Saturday. This evening is Sunday. They have not agreed. But then the good news is there is a ceasefire, at least for 2 weeks. So that means they are not killing any more people, no more bombs are dropping, and no more bullets are being fired. And coming from a diplomatic background, I think you remember the words of Henry Kissinger, who said it's better to jo than to war. So we are hoping that they will continue these talks and eventually find a solution so that we don't see a skyrocket, increase in fuel and fertilizer prices.
Right.
That's it.
Thank you so much, PK. Thank you so much for coming through.
It's an honor to be here. If we seem to be hard, it's because we love the country.
Indeed.
And we must tell our leaders, you are taking the country in a direction that is not familiar
murky waters
with us. And so it's out of the love of our nation. Because most people who are keeping quiet, because the ambassador says Karimu Itobo, they think if they speak, they will not be appointed or readopted.
Indeed.
Some of us have got nothing to lose. We only have got this one Zambia to protect. That's it.
And when you keep quiet, you become an accomplice.
Of course, you're complicit to the crime. And like I said last time, like we have always said, I think President Hakainde Hichilema, this panel, we are the only people that love you.
Absolutely.
The rest of the guys, I'm telling you, Mr. President, they hate you. Do you know why I say this? Because they don't tell you the truth. They can't look you in the eye like we do. We're not scared. We are able to. In fact, you should start paying us for this.
Mike Chula, well, thank you so much for coming through. Nora Hoptow is gone. Who should go now? From the sports fraternity.
I think Keith Mwemba should go.
Oh. Thank you so much. We end there. Thank you very much.
I just won an election.
Wow. I want to end again on a lighter note. Of course, I enjoyed Moyo. And then I'm like, is it within the powers of Moyo to start lecturing the electorate? Be careful next time who you send to Parliament.
We have also told his constituents.
His constituents. What is that?
They have to rethink.
Be careful. Well, Luangweni people.
Be careful.
Whether you want Moyo back in Parliament. Is it right for you? Think about it. Ask Benwell.
Hey, Speaker, your job is just to, if you want to chase
referee,
chase the people out there. If you want to admit them in the house. You can't go to the extent of saying, be careful whom you vote for next time. How?
Imagine.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. We leave everything to the viewers to make your own judgment at the end of the day. But of course, the analysis program has come to an end this evening. We'll be back again next week with another episode. Thank you so much. May God bless Zambia. May God bless Mother Africa. Good night.